Hi, thanks for coming out today to the volunteer orientation. I'm Lisa Bueller, the shelter manager, and I'm here to talk to you today a little bit about animal handling and what you need to do to be safe while you volunteer here at the shelter. We're so excited that you've come out to volunteer because the animals here need lots of attention, and our very busy staff sometimes struggles just to get through the day-to-day cleaning routine. We want to get you started right away, and most people are always very anxious to walk the dog, so we'll talk about that first. But one thing you do need to understand is that the dogs here in the shelter may not necessarily be like the dogs that you have at home or that your friends have at home. So let's start out by talking about where you'll be walking the dogs. We walk dogs that are available for adoption, so that would be puppy adoption or dog adoption unless you've been directed by staff to another area. The dogs in dog adoption and puppy adoption should be friendly, social, well-adjusted dogs, but still there are some things that you need to keep in mind to keep you safe. I often compare dogs that are in the shelter with strangers in a strange land. If you could imagine if you were in another country and you did not speak the language, but somebody came up, snapped you away from your family, and took you to a jail and put you in a jail cell, you'd be in a panic. While you're in jail, it's noisy, it's loud, people are making noises and talking in a language you can't understand. They come in, they throw you some food, they try to give you some orders to do something, but you don't know what they mean. You would be scared, you'd be frightened, you'd be upset, and chances are you may be ready to defend yourself if that was called upon. So think about the dog in the kennel here at the shelter as a stranger in a strange land. We need to approach them in a way that will make them feel comfortable to get out of the kennel, to come visit with us, to go for a walk with us. One of the things that dogs use as a gauge or a thermometer to see what the relationship is going to be like between you and he or she is height. So unfortunately, that puts us at an automatic disadvantage. To dogs, dominance and height are the same thing. You'll often see two dogs when they meet each other sort of square up with each other like prize fighters in the ring. You may see them kind of walk back and forth, look at each other a little bit. Sometimes you'll even see them stand on their tiptoes in a way that they want to make themselves taller than the other dog. The hair on the back of the neck may stand up. It is all about how big one dog can appear to the other. So we, as people approaching a dog that is obviously lower than we are at a disadvantage. So what can we do to kind of rectify that situation? One of the things that we can do when we first meet a dog is to kind of lower ourselves to their level, yet keep ourselves safe. So what we want to do is not head on, not face on, but maybe from the side, just approach the dog, talk in a low voice, be calm, be quiet. Remember, we want to be small. We don't want to be big and intimidating. So we're going to lower down, turn sideways, and when the dog is in the kennel, sometimes I will even put my back to the kennel and allow the dog to come sniff me and approach me, as opposed to me reaching out to grab the dog. So that can be the initial introduction. And again, please remember, the dogs in our adoption area are friendly, but they can still be overwhelmed, and some may react more to certain people than others. Maybe it's a baseball cap, or maybe it's glasses. Little things can kind of trigger something in certain dogs. In general, it's a good idea not to wear sunglasses or baseball caps while you're working in the kennel area with the dogs. So now we've kind of got to know them, we're meeting with them a little bit. What is their reaction and what does that tell us? Hopefully what we're going to see is a dog that is happy and anxious to see us. Happy dogs are going to be soft dogs. Their body may wag, their whole body can shake instead of just their tail. Their eyes will be soft. Some dogs will even actually look like they're smiling, their mouth is relaxed. What you want to look out for is a dog that's tense. If the dog hides in the back of the cage, if it seems like his lips are pursed, like he wants to kind of yell at you, that's generally a sign I don't want to mess with this dog today. Maybe the dog's having a bad day. Maybe he just got moved to adoption. It's important to read their signals because the dogs will try to tell you things. You just have to be open to listen. So of course, since they can't talk to us, it's all about the body language that we want to pay attention to. So happy, wiggly, soft dog, we want to walk. Dog that is tense, that is trying to stay tall, or that cowers in the back of his cage may not be a good choice to walk. Perhaps as you've been volunteering a while and you become more experienced with these dogs, they could be project dogs for you. But we would like to have you start out with some of the easy dogs. Any dog that you walk is a huge benefit because the dogs are in the cages. There is a lot of stimulation, there's a lot of noise, they have a lot of energy. They need to get out and they need to get exercise. So nothing makes the staff happier than to see a group of volunteers come in and grab a bunch of dogs and take them out to the play yards and take them for walks. We'll show you where those are later today. We just want to make sure that you have all the right tools so that you can walk the dogs. At home, when you walk a dog, you're used to just clipping the collar and the leash together and off and out the door you go. Here it's a little bit different. There's a little bit more that we have to do to prepare to walk the dogs. So the first thing you'll want to do, walk back into the dog adoption area, familiarize yourself with who is there, who you'd like to walk, and maybe enlist some of the staff members for help if this is one of the first times that you've been here to walk dogs. It's very important to know what doors you want to go out, and we will show you later today a couple different options that you have for what doors to go out that make the most sense for walking dogs and where our play yards are. When you're ready to walk a dog, it's very important to notice which kennel the dog is in. And that may sound silly, who wouldn't look at that? But when you get back there, you're ready to get your dog out, the other dogs are barking, it's kind of a noisy place, you might forget to look. Pay attention, the numbers are on the inside, on the front of the kennel doors, and the numbers will be on the outside, on the wall of the shelter. Make sure if you take a dog out of kennel 12, you put the dog back into kennel 12. It's very easy to get confused. When you go to put your dog back, you'll suddenly feel like dogs can look the same. So make sure you pay attention to the kennel number. You're also going to want to pay attention to any notes that are on the cages. There may be some dogs that say, I jump a fence, I pull hard on a leash, I don't like other dogs. Pay attention to those notes. Some notes may say that they've just had surgery or that they're scheduled for surgery. Those dogs we don't want to walk. Some dogs may have notes that say medication, and it may be a medication that would in no way interfere with taking the dog for a walk. Perhaps the dog has an allergy, and that's fine. However, if a dog is on medication for kennel cough, that may be a problem. So if you're not sure, it's best to check with a staff member. Let's talk a little bit about collars and leashes because, of course, we need those things in order to walk our dogs. I have several collars and leashes to show you. Our dogs generally do not wear buckle collars or clasp collars in the kennels unless they are dogs that are walked on a regular basis or have gone to an event. Anytime we leave collars on in kennels, there's always a risk that they could get snagged. So be prepared, the dogs that you're walking may not have a collar. If the dog does not have a collar, we have some options that make it pretty easy to walk them. The first would be a slip lead, which just nooses right over the neck of the dog and then will tighten on the neck of the dog as the dog pulls. These work really well. The only downfall to them is they are rather small and slim, so they will pull pretty hard on your arm, as well as if you have dogs that pull very hard, it can actually pull so hard on the dog that the dog could cough. So we have to be a little bit selective. Perhaps for a smaller dog, these nylon slip leads will work very well. If you have a bigger dog without a collar, I prefer to use these braided leashes because they're just a little thicker, they're a little easier on your hand, they're a little bit more sturdy on the dog. And again, this is just a noose slip leash, slips right over the dog's neck, very easy to use, and are located in the lobby of the animal shelter. If you want to walk a dog with a regular leash and collar, we have that option for you as well. These leashes work great. You'll just need to get a buckle collar for your dog, which are available in the volunteer office of the shelter, and our staff would be glad to help you. Make sure you choose the right collar for your dog. We have quite a variety. These leashes are actually a bungee style leash. They kind of snap back and forth. It makes it less stressful for you and the dog. These are located in the volunteer office and the shelter manager's office. If you just ask a staff member, they can help you. We have some volunteers that have become so comfortable walking the dogs, they walk two at once. We have an option for that as well. And this can change from 2 dogs to 1 dog very easily, so don't feel like you're obligated to walk 2 dogs at the same time. We do also have doggy poo removal bags. The staff can direct you to their locations, as well as the trash receptacles for the doggy poo bags once you have collected the poo. If you have any questions about how to get a dog out of a kennel, or you think that you're not comfortable removing 1 dog from a kennel of 3 dogs, please ask our staff. That's what we're here for. The staff in the red shirts would be senior kennel techs or managers. The staff in the black shirts are regular kennel techs. We are all here to help you. We're happy to have you here. So please ask questions. The first few times we can get the dogs out for you. We can help you get started because we want this to be a positive experience and we want you to come back and walk dogs again. Not everybody's here for dogs, and we're very glad to know that because we often feel like the cats kind of get the shaft. People always think of volunteering for walking dogs, which of course we need desperately, but the cats need some attention too. So what can you do here with the cats? There's plenty of opportunities to kind of hang out with the cats in some of the community rooms. The cats need to be brushed. They love some attention. They love to play with toys. But again, remember, the cat that is here is a more stressed cat than the cat that is in your home. So you just need to use a little bit of common sense when it comes to approaching the cats. Again, it's the same thing. Let the cat meet you as opposed to you reaching down and grabbing the cat. Whether it's a dog or a cat, you have to think about how you would feel if you're a small animal and a giant reaches up over top of you and bends down like this. What might you do? I know if somebody a lot larger than me reached down to grab me, I would probably either go like this to protect myself, or I might go like this right back. And that is how people get bitten or scratched. And that's what we want to avoid. So approach quietly, softly, low, and calmly. These are the best ways to make friends here at the shelter. We're so excited, and I am just so grateful that you've all come out to enjoy our volunteer program and help us with the animals. And we hope that you'll come back many, many times. Again, thank you for coming out, and please, any questions, let us know. Thank you.